What if I told you that the fastest car here might not have the best sound? For car enthusiasts, horsepower numbers are impressive. Top speed records are exciting. But nothing creates goosebumps quite like the sound of an engine screaming at full throttle. Some of the cars you're about to hear are powered by naturally aspirated V10s and V12s that sound like race cars from another era. Others use cutting-edge hybrid technology to produce noises so aggressive they barely seem road legal. The question is simple, but the answer is anything but. Today, we're putting some of the most insane-sounding machines on Earth head-to-head. From Lamborghini and Ferrari to Bugatti, Pagani, Porsche, and more, only one can earn the title of the best sound. So listen carefully, because by the end of this video, you might completely change your mind about which car deserves the crown. Before we start comparing these machines, there's something every true car enthusiast understands. The best-sounding car isn't always the fastest. It isn't always the most expensive either. Sometimes a car with less horsepower can create a sound so unforgettable that it sends chills down your spine every time you hear it. That's because great engine sound isn't measured by numbers. It's measured by emotion. The way an engine starts, the way it climbs through the rev range, the way it screams, growls, crackles, or roars when pushed to its limits. And today, we're putting some of the most incredible automotive voices ever created into one epic showdown. Let's begin with a legend, the Porsche Carrera GT. Even decades after its release, many enthusiasts still consider the Carrera GT one of the greatest sounding road cars ever built. At the heart of the car sits a naturally aspirated 5.7-liter V10, originally derived from a racing engine project. And you can hear it. Unlike modern turbocharged engines that often mute the raw mechanical experience, the Carrera GT feels alive. Every touch of the throttle produces a sharp, metallic howl that becomes more intense as the revs climb higher and higher. At low RPMs, it sounds aggressive. At high RPMs, it sounds absolutely unforgettable. Many owners describe the experience as being closer to driving a race car than a road car, and that's exactly why the Carrera GT remains one of the benchmarks against which all other performance car sounds are measured. But if the Porsche sounds like a racing machine, the next car sounds like a symphony. Meet the Lexus LFA. On paper, the LFA never seemed destined to become a legend. Yet years after production ended, people still talk about its sound with near-religious admiration. Powered by a naturally aspirated 4.8-liter V10 developed with assistance from Yamaha's acoustic engineers, the LFA produces one of the most unique engine notes ever recorded. As the RPMs rise, the sound transforms. It starts as a deep growl. Then it becomes a sharp mechanical scream. Finally, near redline, it unleashes a high-pitched wail that many enthusiasts compare to a Formula One car. The result isn't just noise, it's music. In fact, countless enthusiasts who have heard nearly every supercar on Earth still place the LFA at or near the very top of their rankings. But if you think those cars sound dramatic, wait until you hear what happens when an Italian V12 enters the battle. Introducing the Lamborghini Revuelto. Lamborghini has built its reputation around emotion, wild styling, extreme performance, and, of course, outrageous sound. Despite introducing hybrid technology, Lamborghini refused to abandon the naturally aspirated V12 that made the brand famous. The result is spectacular. The Revuelto growls, snarls, and screams in a way that instantly tells you it's a Lamborghini. Even from a distance, enthusiasts can often recognize the sound immediately. There's an aggression to it, a sense of drama, a feeling that something extraordinary is approaching before you even see the car. And that's exactly what Lamborghini has always wanted, to create an experience that feels larger than life. But now, we move to another Italian masterpiece, the Ferrari 812 Competizione. Ferrari's naturally aspirated V12 engines have earned legendary status over decades of engineering excellence. The 812 Competizione may represent one of the final chapters in that story. Its 6.5-liter 512 revs to an astonishing 9,500 revolutions per minute, producing a sound that becomes increasingly intense as the needle approaches redline. Unlike the brute aggression of a Lamborghini, the Ferrari feels more precise, more refined, almost surgical. Every gear change sounds crisp, every acceleration run feels dramatic, and as the engine approaches its upper limits, it produces a scream that reminds enthusiasts why naturally aspirated Ferraris are so beloved. At this point, choosing a winner already feels impossible. We've heard the race-inspired fury of the Carrera GT, the almost mythical scream of the Lexus LFA, the dramatic roar of the Lamborghini Revuelto, and the high-revving masterpiece that is the Ferrari 812 Competizione. But surprisingly, some of the most extreme sounds are still ahead. So far, we've heard some of the most celebrated engine notes in automotive history. The Porsche Carrera GT delivered raw racing emotion. The Lexus LFA sounded like mechanical perfection. The Lamborghini Revuelto brought pure Italian drama, and the Ferrari 812 Competizione reminded us why naturally aspirated V12s are becoming automotive legends. But now it's time to enter the world of hypercars, machines so extreme that they often sound like they're from another planet. Let's start with the Pagani Zonda R. For many enthusiasts, this isn't just one of the best-sounding hypercars ever built. It's one of the best-sounding cars ever built, period. Powered by a naturally aspirated AMG-derived V12, the Zonda R produces a sound that feels completely unrestricted. Every acceleration unleashes an explosion of mechanical fury. The engine screams, the exhaust barks, and the entire car sounds like it belongs on a Le Mans racetrack rather than a public road. It's loud, it's violent, and it's absolutely unforgettable. Many enthusiasts who have heard it in person describe it as one of the few cars that genuinely sounds better in real life than it does on video. And that's saying something. But then comes a car that approaches sound from a completely different direction, the Aston Martin Valkyrie. Unlike most road cars, the Valkyrie was designed to deliver an experience as close to Formula One as possible. At its heart sits a naturally aspirated 6.5-liter Cosworth V12, capable of revving beyond 11,000 revolutions per minute. Read that again, 11,000 revolutions per minute. The result is a sound so sharp and intense that many people compare it directly to modern Formula One cars, and even older V10 race cars. When the Valkyrie reaches high RPMs, it doesn't roar, it screams. The sound becomes so high-pitched and aggressive that it almost feels unreal. It's one of the rare moments where technology and emotion collide perfectly. But if Formula One technology interests you, then the next car might surprise you even more. The Mercedes-AMG One. This machine literally uses Formula One-derived hybrid technology. Its turbocharged V6 and electric systems create a sound unlike anything else on this list. It's not as naturally beautiful as the LFA. It's not as dramatic as the Lamborghini, and it's not as emotional as the Ferrari. Instead, it sounds technical, precise, almost futuristic. Listening to it feels like hearing the future of performance engineering. And whether you love it or hate it, there's no denying that it's one of the most unique sounds in the automotive world. Now let's talk about Bugatti, specifically the Bugatti Bolide. The Bolide represents what happens when Bugatti decides to focus less on luxury and more on pure performance. Its massive quad-turbocharged W16 engine creates a deep, thunderous soundtrack unlike any naturally aspirated machine. While some cars scream, the Bolide feels like it shakes the atmosphere itself. Every acceleration sounds powerful. Every gear change feels brutal. It may not produce the highest pitched soundtrack on the list, but few cars sound as intimidating. And finally, we arrive at the Koenigsegg Jesko attack. Koenigsegg has spent years redefining what hypercars can achieve. The Jesko continues that tradition with astonishing engineering and incredible performance. Its twin-turbocharged V8 delivers an aggressive, angry soundtrack that perfectly matches the car's extreme personality. The sound is sharp, explosive, relentless, and every burst of acceleration reminds you that this is one of the most advanced performance machines ever created. So after hearing all these incredible cars, which one deserves the crown? That's the impossible question. Some enthusiasts will choose the Porsche Carrera GT because of its racing heritage. Others will swear that nothing can beat the Lexus LFA's legendary V10. Many will argue for the Ferrari 812 Competizione or the Lamborghini Revuelto because of their emotional Italian character. And then there are those who believe the Pagani Zonda R and Aston Martin Valkyrie exist in a completely different league altogether. The truth is that there may never be a single correct answer, because the best-sounding car isn't determined by a dyno sheet. It isn't determined by horsepower, and it certainly isn't determined by price. The best-sounding car is the one that makes you stop what you're doing, turn your head, and smile the moment you hear it. That's what makes automotive sound so special. It's personal, it's emotional, and it's one of the few things in the car world that numbers can never fully explain. Now it's your turn to settle the debate. Which car on this list had the best sound? Was it the legendary scream of the Lexus LFA, the raw fury of the Pagani Zonda R, the Formula One-inspired Aston Martin Valkyrie, or something else entirely? Drop your winner in the comments and tell us why. I want to see which car truly earns the crown from the people who matter most, the enthusiasts watching this video. And if you're passionate about hypercars, insane engines, and the world's most extraordinary machines, make sure you're here for the next battle, because this debate is far from over.